questions?
224, you said?
224, yes, 209, 224.
Anybody else?
We didn't discuss any further the small homes.
I think
That's-
that's 209.
That's what we just
That's
said.
Just, yes.
Okay, motion to approve consent agenda resolution 202 through 208, and resolution 210 through 223, and resolution 225 through 227.
Move.
Second?
Roll call.
Holmes. Yes.
Perry,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Schwartz,
Yes.
Strain,
A yes, except for 213, from which I abstain.
and Hughes.
Yes.
Okay, let's start with resolution 209. Steve?
A resident requested that we pull it to discuss it briefly. I'm just going to say that the resident raised concerns about the vehicles, and the concern that maybe tiny houses are not allowed in New Jersey, which I have no knowledge of. I don't know anything about them, honestly, except that they're small, which I think is self-evident. Now, unfortunately, the chief, he left. I was going to say, I'm certainly not opposed to approving it, but I think we also ought to make sure that we kind of assure the resident that we will speak to the chief and make sure that these houses can get in safely and out safely, and that all of those things are checked.
Plus you brought up a topic that I hadn't thought of, that they would probably use generators.
And I don't think that's
But then how many hours are they there, and that's just
right.
a
I don't think those are falling with anti-idle or anything, but it definitely seems like we should discuss that with the chief. And he's pretty good about finding the details on things like that and making sure that everyone can get in and out safely and all that. I think it's just worth making note of that as we think about it and vote on it.
And I also think that Christina's really great with providing us information of all the specs, so, we'll be sure to keep in contact with knowing exactly who's coming and what those specs are, and then talking to the chief.
And keep in mind, it's a show. It's not saying these homes are going to be installed.
Yeah, they're not going to live there afterwards.
They're just coming in and out. I think it's a pretty cool event. Sounds like it's going to be something different for the borough, certainly in Hunterdon County, and it's definitely worth asking some follow-up questions. But I don't think it's anything we really need to do. My biggest concern was having a Commons versus Union Forge, but that's another.
I'm so dedicated to Main Street.
No, I understand. It's just logistically it works a little better at Union Forge, but I'm open-minded, and let's see how this goes. And we have some legitimate questions to ask. When is the event again?
October 2nd and 3rd.
Anybody else have any comments? Should we vote on this first?
Well, you can vote on it if you have public safety concerns. Just a thought. You may want to amend the resolution just to say that any public safety concerns have been raised, to be reviewed by maybe the borough administrator in conjunction with the chief, and that Bonnie has to be satisfied that those safety concerns have been addressed.
Okay. That makes sense. Yeah.
So, approve.
So
move to amend what I just said.
Yeah, move
that's it,
to
yeah.
approve resolution 209-2021 pending a review of any safety concerns by
the
borough
borough
administrator
and
and
that
or
she
the
has to
chief
be
of
satisfied
police.
that they've been addressed.
Yeah, that's realistic.
Yeah.
No, you can amend the resolution right now to add that into it, and once it's amended, then you vote on the amended resolution.
Yeah. So let me get a motion to approve that resolution as amended.
So you have
First
to
we have
vote
to
on,
amend
you
it.
have to move
I'll make a
and
motion
second the motion to amend, and then vote on the motion to
I'll
amend.
make a motion that we amend the resolution to include approval by the administrator in conjunction with the chief
Second.
Of any
Roll call.
safety issues.
of any safety issues. There you go.
You got it.
I'm sorry, I had Strange as my motion, who was my second? Hughes? All right. Columbus,
Yes.
Perry,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Schwartz,
Yes.
Strange,
Yes.
and Hughes.
Yes.
So now, motion to approve.
The
As
resolution
amended.
as amended, correct.
Motion to approve resolution 209-2021 as amended.
Move.
Second.
Roll call.
Columbus,
Yes.
Barry,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Schwartz,
Yes.
Strange,
Yes.
and Hughes.
Yes.
Okay, resolution 224, request for proposal. Again,
Excuse me, I was just curious, I mean, unless I'm mistaken, I just want to clarify, this is severing the golf course operations from the clubhouse. It's
No.
two separate things, is that correct?
This is,
Okay.
we're going out for proposal
To
for
do
golf
that.
management.
Oh, no? Okay.
Billy
I'm just
Casper's
trying to understand
contract.
Their 5-year contract's up, Steve.
Oh, the contract's just up.
They
Yeah.
have to,
Okay.
put out a request for proposal
We have
for,
to.
For either one or
For
both,
bid.
or,
to whoever's gonna manage the course for the
Did
next.
we make changes
5
to
years.
the, no, we
So-
just straight request for proposal, right? We didn't separate everything.
There is an adjustment for the bar area,
Oh,
because it was assumed that the redevelopers would be incorporating that into the redevelopment of the bar.
so this is just for the golf course?
management.
That would be
Just for
pro
the,
shop.
okay. So it does sever the golf course and pro shop from the clubhouse bar?
I believe it leaves an area open for the bar and the,
So if the redevelopers do not, that doesn't come through, and we still have a contract with the new golf operations management company, they would then be given that option to take it back to the bar area as well.
We have to go out for proposal. That's our
Oh,
only
absolutely.
choice.
But-
Our
but
goal,
I just thought
I
there
mean,
was a
to be
proposal
perfectly frank,
for
we
only
are
one.
hoping that Billy Casper and Troon continues on. Troon is the new
Yeah, the
organization.
new name.
That's our goal. We don't have a choice but to go out for proposal, and the time is to do that now.
they expired in the year.
Okay, once again, I'm trying to clarify, it says, whereas the bar is not part of the proposed operating maintenance and management agreement. So
Right,
it's
we
not
took the
part,
one back.
it would not be part of this agreement.
As I said, though, if it turns out there's no other planning in place at the time, next year comes, and we want to still have that area open, we would.
Oh, I see. So you're asking for proposals to sever, but you might not
Yes.
receive it, or you might get ones that say, okay, I understand,
Right.
okay, I got you, okay. I was confused. Okay, I'm done.
Any other comments, thoughts? Motion to approve resolution 224-2021. Roll call.
Columbus,
Yes.
Barry,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Schwartz,
Yes.
Strange,
Yes.
and Hughes.
Yes.
Okay, bunch of council reports. George, why don't you kick us off? Speaking of golf.
We met on, the 19th, the last time we met, or Monday, waiting, for the redevelopment plan. That's just everyone looking forward to reviewing that and hearing about it, so, or more about it. The control panel, the pump station's not installed yet. Now we're waiting for a stretch of days to avoid burning or killing of the greens and the fairways. So we get some cooler weather. That should get done. DPW going back for the asphalt repairs by the end of the summer. Senior Sam was added to several bunkers. A couple of events took place through an invitational on July 28th. Great success. Raised roughly $9,000 for the Memorial Fund. The world's largest golf outing returned August 2nd and raised about $4,000 for the veterans and the families of veterans through the Fisher House Foundation. July numbers, rounds were up, 455 the budget, revenue up, 3,549 the budget. Total expenses were over 6,386 the budget. 11 days into August, we're running close to budget despite some hot days and thunderstorms. Year to date, we're up. Year to date rounds are up. 2,701 the budget. Revenues up. $192,294 the budget. Expenses are over 2,076 the budget. EBITDA is up. 192,218. couple events coming up. September 10th, we have the Club Championship, August 28th and August 29th. September 4th and 5th for the annual Ryder Cup match between Highbridge Hills and Heron Glen. September 10th, the annual Fire Department Golf Outing. It's a local fundraiser. Really sold out. 9 a.m. shotgun, golf. Limited slots left. And mark the calendars for September 24th, Residents Appreciation Day. Residents can enjoy free entry into a 3 p.m. 9-hole scramble tournament. Have a shot to win $10,000 cash, one prize. Fun contests and prizes are also included. Reservations are required for golf. There's a free barbecue to be served from 5:30 to 7:30. Barbecue will be open to all Borough residents and will feature an award presentation for golf and live music from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. And on October 1st, California Fire Department golf outing takes place, and that event is also nearly sold out. So remember golf.
Okay, the historical committee updates for July and August. Our most exciting news to announce is the award of the Hunterdon County Preservation Grant awarded to the Historical Committee for the repair of the west side porch on the Solitude House. The grant total is $44,500 for historical rebuilding of the porch. The committee is working with historic preservation specialists on the application to have Solitude House on the National Register of Historic Places. A grant for completion of this application was awarded last year, and work on the application and research continues. The committee hosted its first luncheon at Solitude House to thank our borough employees, the police department, and DPW on July 7th. It was a lovely afternoon and a joy to have Solitude House open for an event. Committee members conducted the first Solitude House yard sale on Saturday, July 10th, with the items found in the house that would not be used. Thank you to all who came out to support this event. Volunteers and committee members have completed the painting of the first floor at Solitude House. Thank you to all who volunteered to help, and anyone interested in volunteering for a project with the Historical Committee, please email history@highbridge.org. Work continues in our archival space and the development of Solitude Library. The library will contain information on the archival items that the committee currently has and additional research material. The library will be open soon to the public. Updates are being added regularly on our committee Facebook page, Highbridge History. Committee Facebook administrator is currently working on a series of postings for notable people associated with Highbridge history. On July 30th, the Solitude House hosted a very special guest, Louis H. Taylor's fourth-time great-granddaughter. She's from Massachusetts, brought over never-seen-before photos of Solitude House and the Taylor family. A Taylor Bible and journals and Taylor family genealogy book written in 1909. This visit and the information that was generously shared with the committee will aid in our research of the family for the registry nomination and shed light on missing information on the Taylor family history. The committee had its first jazz brunch at Solitude House on August 1st. The event was a large success. Thank you to all the vendors who donated food to the brunch. Hilltop Deli, Scouts Coffee Shop, Polka Dot Cafe, Circa, and The Forge. Thank you to all who attended the brunch and enjoyed our tour of Solitude's first floor. Monies raised will be used for repair on the Solitude property. And I'd like to thank all of the volunteers who attended, Chief Bartman for arranging us to get a golf cart over there so we could shuttle people from the Little Custom Alloy parking lot to the house. And just the energy was just truly amazing. And it's just, it was a really awesome community event. Really great seeing everybody come together, put all differences aside, and work towards something super positive in this town. The committee also produced updated informational brochures for the Annex Building and Solitude House, and brochures which describe the recent renovations at Solitude House. September 18th, the Historical Committee will be hosting an outdoor market on the grounds at the Tisco Complex. Check our Facebook page for updated information. And the Historical Committee continues its collaboration efforts with the Environmental Commission, Green Team, and Creative Committee to begin work on the grounds at the Tisco Building. Planning has been segmented into 3 phases to be completed over the next 18 months to create disco grounds for art. Artwork and sculptures will be produced by the community, and existing historic artifacts will be displayed on the property. Phase 1 of the project is set to take place by the end of August. Also, plans have begun for the Dogs of Highbridge 2022 calendar. Thank you to the volunteers who are organizing this event and putting the calendar together. Proceeds from the sale of the calendar will be used for repairs on Solitude property. We are hopeful to have the calendars for sale by mid-October. The committee is working on hosting murder mystery parties at Solitude House beginning late September or early October. So be on the lookout for more details on that. And then moving on to the events committee, the Dave Allen Band is scheduled for this Sunday from 3 to 7. And it was scheduled on Sunday as to not conflict with the Highbridge Fire Department's first annual music fest the day before. Soapbox Derby is taking place on September 4th, and a very special thank you to Jamie Taylor for saving Soapbox Derby and bringing it back. Thank you, Jamie, and to all those who donated money. She has raised $4,650 in the last couple weeks. Truly amazing. We hope that she does come back and do this every year for us. It's just unbelievable. So currently we have 16 racers, and there's still time to register. So check out the Borough webpage at the events tab for registration info and event details. And that wraps up what I have.
How many racers have we allowed to have?
I think we've had up to 28 in the past. I mean, you can have, I think it's about 30 others in the room right now, more historical information on that, but yeah, we could definitely use more racers, so there's definitely time to sign up.
Councilwoman Moore, Finance.
All right, sign the docket. All right, the tax bills were mailed on July 14th, which covers the third and fourth quarter of 2021 and the first half of 2022. Utility bills were mailed out on July 27th, so if you didn't receive yours, just call Borough Hall and let them know. If you would like to pay your utility bill or your tax bill online on the Borough website, there is no convenience fee if you pay by electronic check. But that's not your debit card, it's only electronic check, so if you want to pay by debit card, your bill will be okay. So the annual audit report was completed and will be submitted to the state after tonight, because that was accepted by council this evening, so and we received the first half of our American Rescue Plan funding and are working with the borough engineers to put together a spending plan for infrastructure projects. We'll go through that tonight. So this is good news, since infrastructure has been on a lot of people's minds, and there'll be ongoing discussions on that. And that was it.
Good, thanks, Leanne.
I'd like to start off with the DPW report. And actually, before the report, the borough would like to send a farewell to Scott Hamill, a member of our DPW family. His last day is tomorrow, as he and his family are relocating to South Carolina. Scott started working with the borough in January of 2014, 7 years ago. And since then, Scott has been a dedicated member of our DPW. DPW and Highbridge will miss Scott for all of his leadership, his friendship, and being a role model. We wish him and his family the best of luck, happiness in his new beginnings. Thank you, Scott.
Friend of the EC for sure.
Absolutely.
Under the regular business for the DPW, they're continuing to install new water meters. Citizens of Highbridge, if you haven't had your water meter replaced yet, please call up the DPW, make an appointment. All of the water meters in town are being replaced with new ones that can be read more easily and record the water meter readings more easily as well. The DPW had their trucks annual servicing over the last month. They've been working on clearing some severely clogged storm sewers up in Solitude Village. Been doing manhole inspections, flushing fire hydrants, and they're currently working on repairing the walking bridge behind the Tisco building. And they're also rebuilding catch basins in Solitude Village. As far as the engineering report goes, we met with the borough engineer, as I said before, on August 5th. Our primary subject of discussion was the Bunvale Road pumping station project. It's a sizable project, probably coming up next year. We just voted on the acceptance of their design and engineering estimate, Collier's Engineering's design and engineering estimate tonight for that project. It's essentially replacing the entire Bunvale Road pumping station, pumps, electrical, there's a clear well. And this is not a project that could be put off. This is something that needs to happen in the next year or so. We also discussed the scope of the Highland sewer improvements and road paving, and the inclusion of obviously Prospect and Taylor Street as part of that scope of work. We also discussed getting the Dewey Avenue area, the former Catton's-Ready property, ready for receiving leaves in the fall. Hopefully we can get that done. We also had a separate meeting with our Safe Routes for Schools engineer, a kickoff for that project. We had that meeting yesterday. It is going to be something of a long time frame to get this project going. The design will not likely be done for another 15 or 16 months. And we're talking about construction possibly in spring of 2023.
Why is that so long? Did they say?
It involves the federal government. that really is the case. And that's about it.
Thank you. Councilman Strange? Before you go, I just want to agree with Christina. These are awesome. I know we've talked about this many times in EDC and over. These are great. Do you have them for all the Harvard schools?
She asked me to do it, so
Oh.
I made her one. It's set up to print at 11 by 17 in color, but then you know, it's
Good job.
I think I shared it with you, but I certainly can share with everybody.
I think it's great.
Give Mr. Collins, you are a photographer.
Like I said, I'm not a teacher.
Maybe you should put it on the website.
Did you have two calls?
I was gonna say, there's
Yeah.
So people can download it.
Yeah.
But I was just saying, the federal rules about that thing of 20 some odd pages, just for that. Anyway, for the submissions.
Oh,
Okay.
yay. Thank you.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Wow, okay.
Okay, well, I'll be brief here. The police department, a slight reduction in calls this past month, July, 816, 135 motor vehicle stops. It was wonderful having the award there for the honorary officer as well as the new officer that we hired. Kind of a nice reminder that that's what they're doing. They're out there watching out for all of us and all the time. That's just their thing. Anyway, so thank you to them. For fire department, July 30 incidents, 2 fire medic drills and 2 work details, and they staffed the North Hunterdon Mutual Aid Station to July 24th. 358.5, I put 5.5, it's probably 547 man hours. I don't know how they calculate that. And I just want to say that their music fest is, what is it, day after tomorrow? The first music fest, 3 to 9, $5 tickets online or at the gate. And please support the fire department. Hopefully this will be very successful. We'll shift from the fireman's picnic, a little bit different. And then also, of course, we mentioned there's already mentioned both of my things there. But anyway, September 10th golf outing, as George said, is a fundraiser for the fire department as well. So if you have to do it soon because they're almost sold out. But if you want to support the fire department and play golf, same time, get your tickets now. For EDC, we have kind of been finalizing the idea of having information to give to new businesses and new residents, kind of 2 separate things. As people come into town, kind of a card that says, here's where you go to get the information you need in town. I would think they'd know to go to highbridge.org, but to remind them of that and also give them other hints about other things. We're hoping to have something like that in the newsletter, and maybe once a year in the newsletter, as well as other venues to get the information to people. We're also looking into having some of the EDC members attend an events committee meeting to understand how they communicate and engage with businesses, and to try to increase that communication between the businesses and the various committees. In terms of businesses, Forge Tavern's off to a great start. I think we've all seen, very nice. And recently I've put people in contact with each other. Trek Bike Summit, how they put the order that is, Trek Bike Shop and Summit. Whatever, I don't know what their name is exactly, but they might be interested in working with the owner of the property at the corner of the Columbia Trail, it's 77 Main Street, I think is the address, as they are thinking about maybe having a bike shop on the first floor. Maybe there'd be some coordination there working together. So hopefully that'll help the person who owns the property and also Trek Bike and Summit. Last but not least, the what do you call it? The QR code posters have been slowly increasing in traffic, and people are beginning to realize, oh, hey, there's a poster there. The peak of all the traffic, August 1st at Solitude House, because there are a lot of people there. Oh, what's this? But as there are events, people are noticing them and trying to get more information. And so that's one of the things EDC is trying to work on. Like, now look at which ones are helping people the most, get rid of the ones no one wants to look at, and find ways to get people to notice them more, so that people can find their way around town and find more information when and where it's useful. So, I think that is it. Yes. I'm done.
Just a couple of reminders from the county that they have an electronics waste recycling on August 28th. So if you missed our electronics event, you can get in the line in the county for theirs. Also, document shredding, if you missed ours, there's one for the county, September 18th. You can go to the county website for more details on both of those. Our document shredding that we had over 5,000 pounds of paper shredded, so thank you to the almost 100 people who came through to do that with us. The county transfer station on Petticoat Lane offers clean drop-off for recycling also, Monday through Friday, and bulk waste drop-off for a fee on Saturdays from 10:30 to 1. Some people forget that that's there, and that's an option if you have more bulk items that you want to put out, and we're only allowing one bulk item per trash cycle, you always have the transfer station, just to keep that in mind. The Green Team won back, I guess, July, we didn't get one before, our $20,000 grant from PSE&G for Sustainable Jersey. It's a non-matching grant. And it's for something we've been working on and submitting for this grant for a long time, to get a connecting path from the Commons parking lot down behind Old Borough Hall to Main Street. So this is the first phase of it for $20,000. There's a lot more we need to do for it, but if we do well on the first 20, we can apply for a continuation of that grant. And I'd like to thank Carol Mowry, a resident that is very environmentally minded, and she's always sending me information about things. But this time she offered a ring barrel that she had purchased and wasn't going to use, a brand new one, and wanted to know if the borough could use it somewhere. And I thought about Solitude House, and Natalie scooped it right up. So thank you, Carol Mowry, for your donation.
Just a quick question for you. Do we have any update on 77 Main? 77 Main has submitted their planning board application and their demolition permit. Excellent. So they should probably be on the planning board agenda for October. Okay, great. Thank you. So I'm going to piggyback on some of what Councilman Schwartz had mentioned about our Safe Routes to School kickoff meeting. We will be including the public in that as well, so you will have an opportunity to come in and see the plans and comment on what the design work is for that one, if not two meetings. And we're hoping that will take place the beginning of next year, probably January or February. So you'll be notified of that. Also, as far as the Natural Recycling Center. I did submit notification to the county that we are planning on moving to the new site on Dewey Avenue, and we hope, we'll have a temporary setup at least for fall brush pickup. October 14th is actually the deadline for phase 2 if we want to apply for another Safe Routes to School grant. So we'll be looking for some input on what other sites we might want to consider for that. We also had a meeting with the state fire safety officials today regarding High Bridge becoming the lead agency now for the life hazard and non-life hazard inspections. Next week, we'll be meeting with our construction permit vendor to discuss some recent changes to the law that will now allow for the uploading of electronic permits via the website. Requests are now out for the fall newsletter, so that's set to go out in late September. And this is on a sad note, there was a fire of the playground manufacturer's facility earlier this summer. So unfortunately, as you know, the playground equipment has still not been installed, and I'm sorry about that. I wish I could do something, but our contractor said as soon as that gets shipped, he's ready to come in and install it. So hopefully before the end of the summer, but I don't know. And you might notice we're actually a third of the way through now with the air conditioning replacement here at the firehouse. So it's not the best, but we thought we were getting 2 this week. We only ended up getting 1, and we're getting another one next week, and then the third one to follow. So by October, we should be That's it.
I don't have very many updates. One, I do want to thank Natalie for your leadership on the historical committee and the other volunteers that we have, and the successful grant applications is tremendous.
We have an amazing team.
We do. We have the best volunteers.
It's a joint
We
effort.
really do. And I'm sorry that I missed the event. I was on vacation. I really wanted to be there. I heard it was wildly successful. I'm excited for that. The only other announcement I have is that I was unable to attend the most recent Raritan Valley Mayor's Alliance to discuss the train between High Bridge and New York City, essentially. We're part of a group, they're mayors all along the Raritan Valley Railroad. But I sent Bonnie, thankfully, and she had a meeting with mayors all across the Raritan Valley line, including Congressman Malinowski and the Department of Transportation Secretary Buttigieg. Did I pronounce that correct? So we at least got the word out that High Bridge is looking for more trains, more weekend service. We're here, we're not going away, and now that these projects are back on the front burner on the federal side, we can really start making our voices heard on the local side. So that was pretty exciting. Thank you for going with that. That's all I have. Okay. Second round of public comments, 5 minutes per person.
Just a couple of comments. You can hear in the background. We can't, once the air goes on, we can't hear you. So maybe, Isabel Silvestri, do anything else? This is on?
Yes.
Okay. So maybe we need additional microphone, because it's really, if we're not in the first row, we can hear up there. It's really hard to hear. Okay, today I got an email, George, from Josh Shakti. He's like the assistant golf professional at High Bridge Hills. They're gonna start a women's league again.
Okay, great.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about
Yeah,
that on the
great.
golf committee. So it's gonna start on August 26th and run through September 30th this year, obviously, for running out of time. The first tee does $20 per person, 19 for Irish residents. The first shotgun is 5:15, and then just show up, 4:45, 5 o'clock, and they'll pair you up with a foursome and send you out, depending on how many people show up that day. But,
What time again? I'm sorry.
yeah, so 5:15 is the first shotgun, to get there to 4:45 and 5, the latest. You know Josh Shafi? I've never heard of him. Somehow, I got him on my email.
That's great, Bill.
I
And
know
then
we
I
went
guess-
out the last meeting.
Yeah.
Right, so I was
That's
upset,
awesome.
right, that they took it away,
Love it.
and nobody was interested. But there is an 18-hole women's league on Thursdays, but it's early, it's like 2:30 in the afternoon or 1:30 in the afternoon, so obviously none of us can play. But, and then they're gonna do it, if there's an interest, and they'll do it again next year, for next season, and have a full season. So,
Well done.
What's the shotgun?
Everyone starts on a different hole, so everyone starts.
Oh, they start all at different holes and going in a circle. Okay, fine.
I'm an expert golfer.
I did a lot of raking and mowing in a golf course, but that's it.
so unfortunately, on this one, it's not that
Oh,
shotgun.
see,
No.
I shouldn't open my.
It won't be that shotgun, it'll be, 5:15 will be the first tee time, so 4 people go out at 5:15, 4 people go out at 5:30 or 5:25, every 10 minutes they'll send out a foursome. Until,
Full 18 holes?
no, it's only 9, and they'll switch between the front and the back 9.
Gotcha.
Every week will be a different, hopefully, if they can do it, it'll be a different back 9, yeah. Yeah.
This is about-
I'm Nancy Barkley. So I just want to reiterate, or say what, what about Natalie and the historical committee. I did go to the open house, and they brought that house back to life. I applaud you, and I know Mark is here, and all the other very passionate committee that you have, and the volunteers, and what they have done. I mean, I visited that house many times over the years, and it, just from the small touches, and I did send an email, that the flowers and candles and set it the way it should be, and the grant, obviously, huge congrats to that. So I'm happy to see that happening, and I'm happy that at some point our school children will be able to go there and tour the house and have our walking, we like our walking tours, so to do that. The other thing I wanted to bring up about when you talk about money coming in, and I know for road improvements and things, the other day I was there with the engineer for the project at the Commons, and we met with Bonnie and me and myself to discuss, that walkway and PW's notification. So it's work, but there's a lot more work to be done, and we're going to need to make sure we do a good job on phase 1 so that we can go back for phase 2. But I was wondering if any of the money, obviously roads are the first thing, and water, okay, that's pretty important. But if there's any way for money at the Commons, and I do know that 77 Main work is being done now, but those trees, I believe, are on the borough property. Again, I sent you information about the sign and things we could do there, but that whole space when you enter really needs some love. So if there's any money or any way or fundraiser ideas that we have to kind of kick that off to really make that shine. While we were there meeting, after I left Bonnie, a couple of gentlemen came up, very nice senior, and he was an iron worker, and he was fascinated with the line going through there, and he's like, well, what are you guys thinking about? And we talked about plants, and we talked about many different things, but he said he does know people that have cabooses, and wouldn't that be cool if we had a caboose on that line as another piece of history, and I did tell him to contact you. And they were like the actress, and I said, well, okay, or the mayor. But they had a lot of
Contact the
historical,
actress.
yeah.
See where the maybe she's got some money.
You never know. But they had a lot of historical information about the lines that did, work here when the bridge was up and everything. So I did tell them to contact Pearl Hall so that they could donate. I was telling them about the Solitude House. But I just really, what the job that they've done at Solitude House, so they really deserve a huge round of applause. It's amazing. If we can get a little of that towards the Commons,
Yeah.
because I know we're going to do Tisco too, but if we could get some in the Commons.
So we're still waiting on, we submitted a grant,
Yeah.
what I think was a great application
Yeah.
for, 200 or 250, whatever it is,
Yeah.
from the state. Every day,
Yeah.
I have a little altar set up in my house. I'm so hopeful because we did just get the one from the EC, Sustainable
Yeah,
Tours, and
yeah.
now we got this other one. I
Yeah.
feel like we're on the map a little bit with the state, and I think that we have a really good shot, but I don't want to, apparently we got a ton of
But there's
applications.
certain things, we walked back to the back of the property
Yeah.
and stuff, and we talked. So just some simple things that would make a huge impact.
Yes,
And
I
just
agree.
to start there, but obviously we'll go back for phase 2, to keep it going.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of work. So anyway, thank you.
Thanks, Colleen.
Just think about it, so
in the engineers here, I would like to say that the drain that was installed by the Columbia Trail does nothing to control the water that comes down Main Street and turns on the center. So, just for future reference. Stephen and EDC, I work directly with Kevin at number 77 Main Street and have given him someone for the first floor. So, send people to me and we'll work quickly that way.
Okay.
Mayor, you might like to know, since you were out of town on vacation, that he came in and he cleared the entire property at the back, and it's all leveled and disconnected the sewer line, so it's ready to go. I'm sorry to hear that it's gonna take till October for the planning board application, but, things are moving along there from his end. He's just waiting for the formalities, so.
Thank you, I haven't made it back there.
So that's the update. Okay, thank you.
Hi, I'm Meredith Strange, 27 Highland Avenue. I know it's been said, but I have to commend Natalie. I am painfully aware of what she started with, and she's done amazing things, so thank you. And two, I just want to thank the council for approving Jam Behind the Dam. I'm so excited to back to normal and work with the town again. We had a great time the first time. Thank you.
Sorry, I missed that, went right over my head.
Can you state your name?
Oh, Mark is out, 21 Terrace. Long past my bedtime still. Yeah, I missed that act of vengeance during my first public comments. My daughter assists the Easter Bunny every year, and I guess because I spoke up, I guess that's been stripped. So, but that was a nice conversation, nice discussion we had about Taylor. That's the way things should be, right? Too bad there weren't any other important things we could have discussed here, and we could have brought people in.
Thanks, Mark.
Thank you.
Christopher Brown, 84 West Main, what the heck, I don't remember where I live. A lot of people have talked about
You trying to have to touch the microphone?
sure, thank you. A lot of people have talked about the Solitude House, how amazing that was, and I was there August 1st, that was. But it was amazing because I remember in the beginning when you brought me there, and I was kind of like whoomp on this couch. I'm like, why did you bring me here? I have allergies. But then, I came again one other time. I almost went upstairs, but for some reason we couldn't. And then I came to your event. And it was amazing because it was interesting because it was raining and it was dreary outside, but it only made the inside of that house more bright and amazing. The chandelier was functioning. I was walking through it and I was like, this is like a White House tour. Like we're walking, and we stop. This is the room where George Washington, we're walking, and I'm just like, you made something that was dead alive, and you're not finished. So I just wanted to tell you that was an amazing. I remember I was sitting on the porch with you, and I was like, for heaven's sake, I'm really happy and excited to be here. Like, this is crazy. And then
It was a team effort.
it was you and Kelly. Yes, I agree 100%. And but you're the one that dragged me there, and then I started coming on my own accord. And I was just really proud of you how you've taken this thing and made it yours, and now it's hybrid. And it's great. It's amazing. I'm actually going to Hyde Park tomorrow, FDR. And I'm like, this is what I'm talking about. Like, people will come to hybrids to see the Solitude House because, I'm not going to say because of you, but I'm saying you obviously are a huge part of that. I mean, that was just an amazing experience that day. So I just want to thank you for that. I've been trying, to say the right thing and kind of make sure I encompass the emotion I had that day because it was really amazing. And I saw it, again, be gray and dreary and dull to this alive building. Touch the mic. Alive building that is just crazy amazing. And it's just, again, you're not done. So that's amazing. I feel like I'm talking only to you. I apologize.
We look forward to many more
So that was
amazing
just a
days
great
there.
experience. So thank you so much.
Thank
really.
you.
I just have a question. What do we do with shredded
You gotta
paper?
come up to the
Oh, I have
microphone.
to. Isabel with the What do we do with shredded paper? Can you shred a whole bunch of paper?
It has to go in the garbage. You can't recycle shredded paper.
Wow.
It jams their machines, they do not want it.
Even if it's in a
I
plastic
actually was
bag?
talking to them today on the phone this morning, so.
So if shredded paper that's in a bag, that goes into the bag, you can't, can you bring it to the recycle place?
Call the county transfer, I don't know, but LMR does not want it.
And then also the batteries. I've been saving batteries, I got a big, huge,
Years ago.
I know they
We did
did.
it, and then the state decided they were hazardous material to travel on the road because they have a little energy in them, and they would jockey around and spark something, catch something on fire, and so now you just throw them away.
That's terrible.
You see the state
Wow, I
about
have a
that?
whole big, well, you know what, I did run into somebody that said that they take the batteries.
Yeah.
So I'll call this guy up, he takes them
You
somewhere.
can, there's some place where you can wrap them individually in plastic wrap and then do something, but
Oh, because I have a big bucket loaded with batteries. I
Just
can
this little disposable area?
Yeah, it's disposable.
So I think you
Like
can
eggs
recycle
and things.
car batteries, there's a lot of lead and stuff.
Yeah,
in
right.
it, but I don't,
No,
the little ones.
no.
So there's nothing that anybody does in Hyderabad?
no, we used to collect them and now
Okay.
we had no place to
All
get
right,
rid
I
of
guess
them.
I'll
Good for
go.
filling buckets.
Not what takes car batteries, I think.
Yeah, but not car batteries, it's just the little iPads or whatever you call them. Not an iPad, or the other batteries. Okay.
Any other comments from the public?
Nothing to report on tonight, Mayor.
Thank you so much, Mary. Communications.
We have the tax and finance monthly reports, the July zoning report. We have Elizabeth Town yesterday notice of public hearings, government energy aggregation submittals are in there, and the final payment letter of Washington Avenue River Road.
And just to follow up with Bonnie, the audit is on the website, it's on supporting documents. Things are headed in the right direction in Highbridge, and if you're into those kind of reports, it's really good reading, so. Approval of the bills. Oh, sorry, bill list.
$1,459,379.61.
Motion to approve the bill list. Did we get both? Second, roll call.
Columbus.
Yes.
Barrett.
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
Schwartz. Yes. Strain.
Yes.
And Hughes.
Yes.
Okay, there's no more business. Motion to adjourn.
Second?
Roll call.
Columbus.
Yes.
Barrett.
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
Schwartz.
Yes.
Strain.
Yes.
And Hughes.
Yes.
Great, next council meeting, September 9th, right here in the firehouse. We're keeping in-person meetings as long as we can, just so everyone is aware of that. Masks are optional. We're asking for personal responsibility here. If you're not feeling well, please stay home. September 9th, 7:30 right here.
Unless you can't take yourself.
See you then.
Unless you can't take yourself.